Welcome to my channel. My name is Akira Janay. This channel is all about nursing, lifestyle, and just fun. If you haven't already from the title of this video, today is a tip day. Akira is giving you all the tips on how to become a nurse. And I'm gonna do this disclaimer real quick. So I am a NICU nurse. I got a position as a new grad straight out of nursing school in a level 4 NICU here in North Carolina. So I feel like these tips can be used for any nurse trying to get into any specialty right after nursing school, or if you're trying to switch your specialty up a year or two later. I feel like all these tips can go with anyone, any nurse trying to get in this field. But I might throw more NICU examples in there because that's all I know, that's all I have done. So I am going to use more NICU examples, but anyone can use these tips, y'all. So let's get into this video. So tip number 1, y'all should do volunteer work or community service with the specialty you're trying to get a job in. And when I say this, so we're going to use the NICU example here. If you know you want to work with babies, or you know you want to work with children, try and tailor your volunteer and community involvement towards children. You can do volunteer with the rec center. You can try and find volunteer stuff with a daycare. You can try and find volunteer stuff with the hospital with children. Because one thing about healthcare is everything. It's just not what's in the hospital. It's a continuation of care. When they get home, how are they going to do when they get home? How are they going to adjust things like that? So when you do volunteer stuff in the community, that helps you play on that more. And it gives you a great talking point during your interview, as well as a great bullet point to put on your resume as well. So I feel like doing community service with the particular population you're trying to work for in the hospital is a great way to highlight yourself compared to others. Me personally, I did 2 community service activities while I was in nursing school for those 2 years. One of them was I volunteered at my local rec center as an assistant cheerleading coach. That did take a little bit more time. So if you want something with a little less time, try and find something that works better with your schedule. But this one activity was the rec center, as well as I volunteered in a program called Rock and Hold. Like I said, I am from the North Carolina area. I did go to school at UNC Greensboro, so in the Greensboro area. So if you do go to school in the Greensboro, Winston area, that area in North Carolina, Cone Health has a great program called Rock and Hold. And what it is that people who are in nursing school can volunteer 1 hour out the week to come into their NICU and volunteer as a cuddler. And what a cuddler does is you just help console babies that are irritable, especially those NAS babies dealing with neonatal absence syndrome. And if you don't know, I'm gonna take you to my NICU world a little bit. NAS, or neonatal absence syndrome, is when a mother was on drugs while having a baby, and now the baby is born and the baby's not getting access to those drugs through the mom's system anymore, so they're withdrawing. So when a baby withdraws, they're highly irritable, highly angry, just can't eat right, unconsolable. They're going through a lot. It's a hard transition. So these babies can be very irritable and just a lot to handle, especially for a nurse. So having people volunteer as colors help nurses that maybe when they're doing something else with another baby and that baby is just irritable, can't stop crying, is very upset, that someone holds them and consoles them and helps them calm down. The Rock and Hold program, that's what you do. You come in and you console babies, mostly NAS babies, as well as any other babies in the unit that might be irritable at the time and the nurse just can't get to them. I'm going to link that program down below if they're still having it. Well, May will be 2 years for me graduating from nursing school, so I feel like this program is probably still going on. So if I find it, I will link it below in the description box. But if not, maybe just try and Google that. You never know what's out there. Just try it, y'all. Like I said, this could be for any specialty. If you know you want to work with adults, volunteer, do community service with adults. If you know you want to work with the elderly population, volunteer at nursing home health. I don't know, just look out there, put in the extra effort. If this is really the specialty you want to be in, put in that extra effort to make things happen. So that is my tip number 1. Tip number 2, y'all, I know a lot of people have probably said this, but trying to get your nurse capstone, that class that you take your senior year where you're working with a nurse, getting experience on the floor, try and get that in the specialty you want and the specialty you think you're going to apply for after nursing school. So if you know, hey, I'm applying for NICU positions, I want to be a NICU nurse, I know this is me, try and get your capstone in NICU. And I understand that it might be hard sometimes. Maybe 10 other people in your cohort want to be NICU nurses too, and now you guys are fighting for maybe those 3 or 4 positions in the NICU NICUs in your area. A thing you can do is look up nursing capstones, fellowships, whatever they're called. Look them up yourself, because a lot of hospitals have those that you can apply for yourself, and you will get first dibs before other people do if you apply for their actual program yourself. Me personally, like I said, I went to school at UNC Greensboro. So Wake Forest Baptist, which is in Winston-Salem, which is 30 minutes from Greensboro, had a nurse capstone program that you actually applied for yourself. Our school also placed people in that hospital, but you can also apply for their program and get first dibs for the spots they had. So, you know, I applied for their program, I got an interview, and I got my top choice. That easy. Just had to do an interview, and I got the position I wanted, and I got my nurse capstone in the NICU. So that's a great way to do it. I feel like if you know what specialty you want to be in right out of nursing school, you need to try and do these tricks to help put you ahead of other people, help you just look better, because that's something you can put on your resume, and that pops out to someone who works in that specialty, like, oh, this person knows what they want. Oh, this person has seen things. Even though nursing school doesn't prepare you how to be a nurse, at least you've been in that field. At least you've seen these things. So I feel like trying to get your nursing capstone with the specialty you want is a great way to put you on top of the game. Another side note to that, if you know you want to do NICU, I'm sorry y'all, I'm using these NICU examples because I'm a NICU nurse and that's all I know, but like I said, this can go to any specialty. If you know you want to be a NICU nurse and you know your first choice is NICU, make your other choices align a little bit like that. Do mother baby. It might not be what you want, but mother baby, you deal with a lot of things like breastfeeding, which you will also deal with the NICU. You'll deal with newborn wellness babies and stuff. Like at NICU, yes, the babies are super sick, but later on they will be healthy. So knowing these things about babies and stuff. So do mother baby, ask for peace, do these things, because it really is helpful in the long run. To you, it might not be where you want to be, but it is, like I said, just putting you on top of the game and, you know, making your resume look a little better and making those nurse recruiters want to pick you out of the bunch. So that's my tip number 2, y'all. Tip number 3, y'all. Working as a nursing tech or nursing assistant while in nursing school. And I understand nursing school is a lot, and I understand some people can't work while in nursing school. Me personally, I worked PRN, and at the hospital I worked at PRN with working 1 shift every 2 weeks, and that's how I got my experience in that hospital. And I feel like this is important because, one, especially if you know what hospital you want to work for. If you know, I want to work at UNC, I want to, then, you know, get a PRN position, a full-time, a part-time, whatever works best with your schedule, or maybe just work in the summer, you know, apply in the summer, tell them I'm in nursing school, hey, I'm gonna work for the summer and I'll work on breaks, you know, do these things, because a lot of nursing managers will work with you, and because they want people on their floor, because they know, oh, she's in nursing school, bad, she's about to be a nurse soon, I got me a nurse that's gonna come up soon, you know, they want this stuff, so they will work with you. And I feel like it's just important to work at a hospital while in nursing school, PRN, full-time, part-time, or maybe on the holidays and the summer, just because it puts your foot in the door. You'll be top pick compared to other people because you already have established with that organization, that hospital, whatever. You have already established with them, you're a good worker, you have already put in time with them, so they're going to pick you above other people. So this is just something you can do, and you can tailor it towards your liking. Tip number 4, y'all. So tip number 4 is, y'all, I'm gonna say this, please submit a cover letter. I don't care if it says cover letters are optional. You should always submit a cover letter. A resume is great, but a resume is just bullet points, just quick bullet points on what you have done, what it has showed you, what skills has it taught you, just quick bullet points. While a cover letter is a letter, you go a little bit more in depth. You get to play on that emotional string with people a little bit, and yes, you can make it a little bit emotional while still staying professional. I'm gonna try and link one of my cover letters before, because I applied for 3 NICU positions. I got an interview for 2 of them, so I will try and find a cover letter I use and link it below, but you can do it in a professional way where you're like pulling on people's emotional heartstrings. So, and we're emotional creatures, we're emotional beings, so really put your heart into it of why you want to be there. What skills have you learned that will make you a great candidate in your cover letter? It gives you a little bit more space, a little bit more of a way just to play on words and emotions and show why you are a great candidate compared to other people. So a cover letter is not optional. A cover letter should be done. I'm gonna tell y'all. And you can get mad all you want and be like, no, well, it's just optional. I've gotten a job without a cover letter. Yes, people have gotten a job without a cover letter. But if you really want to work in a certain specialty, and a specialty you know is very competitive, you need to do everything you can to put yourself on top, to make yourself shine a little bit brighter than other people. And a cover letter is a way to do that. Tip number 5. So before I talk about tip number 5, those first 4 tips I gave you about community service, doing your nurse capstone, working as a nursing nursing tech, nursing assistant, your cover letter. These are all things you would do before your interview or put in your resume. And this next tip I give you is after you got the interview. So after you got the interview and you know they're still like trying to pick who they want, another tip is to bring a portfolio to your interview. And what a portfolio is, it just highlights the things you have done throughout your time in college to make you a good applicant. And actually, I'm going to grab my portfolio real quick and put an input of my portfolio into this. This is my portfolio. Like I said, I went to UNC Greensboro School of Nursing. So like I said, a portfolio is just a visual to go with your words during the interview. And I had a table of contents, and then I had little tabs as well that went with what I was talking about. So professional development, clinical evaluation, undergrad academic work. I don't know if y'all see that. It's sort of blurring out. I had certification, awards, scholarship, and community and campus involvement. And then in every category, I just had like stuff, my resume, my cover letter, and also, y'all do not put, sorry the glare, do not put the cover letter of a different hospital. Put the cover letter for the hospital you're applying for. I had my references, my recommendations. I had my clinical evaluations from nursing school. Yes, that was a big one. I had all my evaluations. I had like certain things I did in nursing school, like my research paper and my certifications, award and scholarships. I had like my BLS, nursing assistant. Then I had like stuff for my scholarships and things like that. This is just a brief overview, but this is how portfolio look. So it just talks about the stuff you already have in your resume. As you can tell, this is my resume, but it just shows the stuff you already have written down and things like that. And it just goes in a little bit more depth, and it gives you a visual to go with your verbal during your interview process, as well as just looks professional. I know right now mine's look a little, I need to clean it. I haven't used it in almost 2 years, but it just gives you a really good professional look. It shows them that you are dedicated, you are committed, and you're coming here to show your best self. And you don't have to get one of these. My school was just offering them, so I brought one because I felt like it would look bomb. I wanted one. I felt like I looked like the ish with this coming into my interview. But you can use like a binder and just take a picture of your school logo and put your name or whatever, like how I sort of did this page. And y'all don't worry, I don't live there anymore, so I'm not worried about y'all pulling up on me. But yeah, y'all, so that's how a portfolio looks. But what a portfolio just does, it just gives them a visual. Interviews are very verbal. You're talking, and yes, they are actively listening, but we're all human. We know after a while we tune out, especially if you're just going on and on and on, you know, because sometimes that happens during interviews. You know, sometimes you just keep talking, you don't know when to stop. Some people tune out. So a portfolio is a great way to put visual with your verbal. I think portfolios are a great way to showcase yourself, and you can also do it digital. I know me, I had an actual physical one, like the one I showed y'all previously, as well as I had it on a desk drive as well. So I was not coming to play games, y'all. Like, I really knew I wanted to work in the NICU. I did not want to start on med surge floor. I did not want to start with adults. I knew I wanted to work with babies, because that was the only way I could survive being a nurse, was working with babies. I don't want to work with adults. I don't think I ever want to work with adults. I think maybe outside of the hospital setting I would like to work with adults. You know, I've been thinking of some things I would also like to like dip my foot into, but in the hospital setting, I ain't going nowhere but babies or maybe pediatrics with kids, because I can't do it. So I knew this is what I wanted, so I put in the extra effort. I made a portfolio. I also made it digital, and that really showcased myself. Like, even my manager during my interview, she was like, wow, I've never seen anything like this. Like, I really want to look at this because you put in so much time and work. Like, this is amazing. So doing something like that will really showcase just like you're really committed, you're putting in the extra mile, and you really want this job. So I think a portfolio is amazing. Like I said, these are tips and tricks that I use myself, and I feel that are very beneficial to anyone who's trying to get into a specific specialty as a nurse. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more tips, more vlogs, more everything nursing, everything lifestyle. I'm about to throw a little bit more lifestyle into my channel, but mostly it's nursing, lifestyle, and just me having a good time, y'all. But if you love this video, please give it a big thumbs up, y'all. I love the support. It warms my heart. So I hope y'all enjoy this video, but bye, y'all.